This is my second attempt at starting the covers of this album, because I wasn't too happy with the first version. So hopefully this will be slightly better. I haven't sorted out the spine yet because I'm not too sure how big I want it. I do know it's going to be thick, at least 4 inches. So for the front and back cover, the size is, this is a full A4 sheet of 2.5mm chipboard, and I cut it, no I haven't cut this side, so this is 8.25 inches, and I cut the height to 11, so I've cut 3/4 of an inch off the top, or the bottom, either way. But this is packaging cardboard. It's really, really thin, and I cut this at 7 by 11. So it's 7 inches across, 11 inches down, obviously. And this is going to be a door. I do have, it's going to have a little bit here, and there's going to be a doorknob here. Now originally I had two gaps at the top and two longer gaps at the bottom, but I decided I wanted it more Christmas carol-y. This album, it is based on A Christmas Carol, but it's a bit darker, I would say. I don't want it all light and airy fairy and oh isn't this wonderful. I wanted it to be quite dark and sombre. Whether I'm going to end up doing it in black, grey or craft cardstock, I don't know. At the moment, I don't know if you can see here, I've got my craft cardstock out. So it might be done all in craft or all in browns. Anyway, so all I did for this was it was a ruler's width, which I think is about 1.25 inches. It's about 1.25 inches, so 1.25 inches all the way round. Slightly bigger for these bits in the middle. It's about 1.5 inches. So this gap in the middle is 1.5 inches wide. And these are 1.5 inches wide. And what I did is I cut out these spaces, but I kept the bits I cut out because this is going on here, because I'm going to have big hinges in this album. So the door's going to be offset, and the bits that I cut out, I cut down, and they will be glued in the centre of each piece, because I am hopeless at cutting things straight, and whether I cover these in paper or not I don't know, but they will be, I think, black. I think the front door has to be black really. So it's going to be like this. So that's the rough measurements of the door. Pretty simple, huh? And I haven't got my doorknobs through yet. So yeah, this will be here, and there'll be a doorknob here in the centre. And that'll be it. Probably decorative hinges, maybe. But I wanted this extra because I could have done the door this wide, but it just didn't look right. There's something odd about it. So, but this, whether I'm going to cover it in paper or just paint it, I don't know. Either way, I will edge each of the apertures here in black gesso, as it's something that I've only recently discovered. Who knew that gesso came in anything other than white? And I've since discovered as well it comes in clear as well. I was absolutely gobsmacked. So, I do have my black gesso, which I will probably use, or just a ready mixed black paint. This is a really cheap one. Yes, and so if I just wanted to get this uploaded so that, because I kind of like went ahead and forgot to film me doing all the bits, so I thought before I carried on I'd better sort of show you what I'd done. So yeah, that's the basic measurements, and then I'll figure out the spine. Like I said, it's going to be at least 4 inches thick. Although it won't have many pages in, I want you to be able to open the book and the pages to lay flat as you open them. I don't want them all sticking up and bulking out, so I want it to be really, really hefty. And I will be using illustrations from probably these illustrations, if I can find some. Yeah, these ones from the book. Not directly from the book. I shall be printing them out because I want them printed out on a craft coloured, this brown sort of coloured paper. So, but those will be probably what I'm using. I will have found more online. It's going to be quite similar, I suppose, in many ways to the Alice in Wonderland album, in that I will be using book pages in with that I've printed out, sort of in with the decoration. And then it's just deciding. I do have the idea in my head, I just don't know exactly what colours I'm going to use yet. So, that's a brief description of what's going on. This will be the front cover. Oh, I'm hoping to have, I have some, where I make miniatures, I do have some ivy, miniature ivy that I can put up there, and I'm hoping maybe, oh, I don't know, just bits and pieces, but anyway, so that's the measurements. 11 by 7 for the door panel at the front, and 11 by 8¼ for the main page. Like I said, if you wanted to, you could make it just like this, but because the pages, like I said, they're going to have a really thick hinge, a wide hinge, so the pages will be, although the outer cover is this big, the pages will be probably, I think probably 7 by 10¾ or 10½. The pages will be inside, but for now I'm going to get this done. I'm going to get it painted and everything else, and then I'll come back on a different upload and figure out what we're going to do next. What a long-winded way of saying, look, here's a door. Bye for now.